pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Welcome to the Town of Ulster Town Board Workshop for Thursday, November 6, 2014. Please be aware of the exits in case there is an emergency. Mr. Town Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Councilman Brink?
Here.
Councilman Kitchen?
Here.
Councilman Morrow?
Here.
Councilman Secreto?
Here.
Supervisor Quigley?
Here. Thank you. Are there any additions or changes to the agenda?
None.
Any individual wish to speak on agenda items? Please come to the podium. Thank you very much. Mr. Cosenza, please, do you have any communications?
I have two communications. The first communication is from the New York State DOT. Dear Mr. Cosenza, in order to go forward with the town's official request for a speed limit on Cuckoo Lane adjacent to the Center for Spectrum Services, we will require official documentation from the school expressing their support for a school speed limit. Additionally, the school is required to provide this department with a percentage of students who will either walk or bicycle to the faculty daily. This information is part of the criteria used to determine the traffic warrants necessary for establishing a school speed limit. I am forwarding a copy of this letter to Ms. Susan Buckler, Administrative Director of the Center for Spectrum Services. If you have any questions or need any further information upon this request, please contact the Regional Traffic Safety and Mobile Group. Very yours truly, Mark Marano. I have another piece of correspondence from Christopher and Gina Avery. To whom it may concern, thank you for recently paving our road that has not been done in over 12 years.
Thank you, Mr. Peckermore.
Patching it was just not working at all, and as we've been through many axles, the reason for this letter is to ask to have signs and lines on our road. We recently had more children on this road, and the population is growing. My children play by the road, and we live right next to it, and they also ride their bikes there because there's nowhere else to ride in the area. Cars go at least 55 miles through here, not to mention when it's dark, it's used as a racetrack and they tend to move faster. Now that the road is paved, I can just imagine how fast cars will go. I'm waiting for the day when one of them hits one of my children. I've noticed that there is one or two or maybe more signs that have speed limits on it on either end of the Potter Hill Road, but none throughout. I cannot even tell you what the speed limit is on the road because there's a lack of it. Our road is used to connect 9W and Route 9W, connect 9W and Route 32, and there's definitely more traffic that has been realized through this. We need children at play signs in our area because people just don't see our children. I myself have almost been run over a couple of times going to get to the mall. The reason I would like lines on the road is because we have two businesses, a tractor-trailer business. The reason I moved here is because it was called a residential area, which is obviously not now. The vehicles take the entire road to the point where we have been pushed off. They do not obey the speed limit. People are often texting while they are driving, and people think because there are no lines, it's okay to drive to the entire road. We are not the normal back road or a side street that obviously do not have lines, but also do connect to two main roads or have businesses on them like ours. Please consider my letter in order to get these things taken care of. It's most appreciated, and thank you for taking the time to look at this. Sincerely, Christopher and Gina Avery. That concludes my letter reading campaign for today.
Okay, in relation to the speed limit request, I'm going to ask Chief Cruz to see what you can do in the enforcement area.
Yes, sir.
Would this area lend itself to the traffic cam trailer?
You know, we could look at that, setting it up to get a good monitor of the traffic, the time of traffic, and also the average speeds. So I will look into getting that. And I've also sent notice out to all the shift sergeants to make sure they have a bigger presence over there with the patrols to monitor traffic and do some enforcement so we can see if there is truly a problem out there in that area.
Thank you. We have two scheduled public hearings tonight for 7:10 and 7:20. And since it is not the appointed time to start, we will proceed with our standard agenda under old business. The first item of business Gentlemen, in the package, you have a resolution granting a one-year extension for a site plan revision for JBAF Management, DBA Prestige Toyota, section block and lot 48.050-2-7 on East Chester Street bypass, Kingston. Is Kathy here?
Yes.
Kathy, do you have any issues in relation to the extension of this site plan?
No, not at all.
Gentlemen, I'll ask for a motion to accept the resolution.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
The next item of old business is a motion to authorize the supervisor to sign an out-of-district sewer use agreement with Central Hudson Gas and Electric for 2001 Route 9W, Lake Katrina, New York, section block and lot 39.15-4-19.1. This agreement is the exact same agreement in form and in rate and term as the existing agreement with Red Alone that was authorized by this board last year.
I'll make that motion.
Discussion? All those in favor? Aye. The next item under old business is a motion to authorize the refund of $20,000 received as a surety for the completion of the environmental cleanup of 454 Hurley Avenue, Kingston, New York to new L&J. Before calling for that motion, Kathy, how do we stand on the cleanup?
The cleanup was done, I believe, last week. The pictures that I had done, what I had done was I visited the site and took pictures of things that I felt were necessary to take care of, to clean up that needed to be done to make it more safe. I went back there and those items had been taken care of. We're moving forward on a possible new site plan with this property with Bill Bernier. He's supposed to be coming to the next workshop, and that's about it.
Okay, so that if any deficiencies are identified post-refund, we have the planning board process that they will be going through where we can make it a condition that those issues are corrected.
Absolutely.
With that being said, I'll ask for a motion to refund the $20,000. Discussion? All those in favor? The next item is a motion to award a bid for a new single-axle chassis and dump body with plow as part of the equipment replacement program for 2014. Mr. Petramall, would you please report?
As we got approval to go out to bid at the last month's meeting, this is a new single-axle plow truck that would actually be a payment out of 2015's budget. We're ordering now. The truck probably will not be in service until April, May. So in order to try to have some savings after the first year, they usually whack us with another increase of 3% at least. So we're trying to avoid that and plan ahead. So we reviewed the open the bids on Wednesday. We reviewed all the bids. They all meet the specifications, and those are the ones we're asking for approval for tonight.
So you're asking for approval to purchase a new Mack chassis
Correct.
and a new plow and...
Plow and body package from T&T Body.
Okay. Gentlemen, the summaries of the bids are in your package. May I have a motion to accept Mr. Petramall's request to award the bid?
I'll make that motion.
Discussion on the matter? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda under new business is a motion to authorize the supervisor to sign the engagement letters for the 2014 town audits with Tosky and Company certified public accountants in the following amounts. The general town audit and single audit are $35,000. The town justice court is $2,600, and the town clerk's office and tax collector is $3,000. These amounts are in line with minor increases in relation to the fees that the town incurred for completion of the 2013 audits. May I have a motion?
I'll move. Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Next item is a motion to authorize the supervisor to sign the proposal for the 2014 GASB 45 actuarial report with USI Consulting Group in the amount of $4,900. This is a required actuarial report for the post-retirement benefit liability that we are required to do under our accounting policies. May I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Motion to authorize the supervisor to sign the 2014-2015 DWI crackdown enforcement agreement with Ulster County. Stop DWI. Before I call for a motion, Mr. Cruz, is there anything that is in this program that is different than what we have previously obligated ourselves to do?
Mr. Supervisor, in this program, the crackdown consists of holiday dates for enforcement. So the money that would be utilized will be purely for the holidays, such as, and it starts this year and runs through 2015, such as Thanksgiving, Christmas holiday season, and so on, right through September of 2015.
So the allocation of funds under this program has been increased to the town?
Yes, the funds for this program, which is totally separate than the DWI task force money, we've been given approximately $9,200 for this program under the crackdown money for DWI. And again, it's to be used for holiday seasons, and those patrols are to be specific for that reason.
So the message is don't drink and drive in the town of Ulster.
Not during the holiday.
Not any time. May I have a motion to authorize the supervisor to sign?
So moved. Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. The next item on the agenda is a motion to authorize the chief of police to sign a contract with the county district attorney's office for the loan of police equipment to be used by the detective division. Mr. Cruz. On the matter, an explanation, please.
The equipment was obtained through a grant by the Ulster County District Attorney's Office from the state for video recording equipment in the detective division interview room. We presently have the equipment in our room, but it's approximately 8 years old, and the District Attorney's Office was able to obtain this grant for 9 police agencies, and we were one of the police agencies included in this. So they just want a contract agreement that we're signing that we're going to borrow this equipment under a loaner program, but it'll be for our interview rooms, and we'll be able to maintain it for that purpose.
And it's standardized equipment across the entire 9 agencies?
Yes, sir.
Very good. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion. Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Aye. The next item is a motion authorizing the supervisor to sign the proposals from Lime Energy dated October 31st, 2014 for the upgrade and replacement of the exterior lighting fixtures, the Town of Ulster Town Hall and Senior Center in a total amount of $8,062.56 to be appropriated from the general fund, unreserved fund balance. Gentlemen, if you recall, back in the summertime, we had a proposal from Lime Energy to upgrade the lighting fixtures throughout the town. We executed on the water, sewer, and highway departments, as well as the Grand Avenue Lighting District. We deferred this project pending a resolution on where we were going to house the town government. After a recent conversation with one of the town's electrical contractors, we inferred that we would be crazy not to take advantage of this because we could recover our costs in a very short period of time. So I'm going to ask for a motion to authorize this project.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Mr. Cosenza, while we're on here, could you give a brief update of the residual on the balance of the project?
We have one spot left that the contractors need to return and fix. What happened is they had ordered the wrong light fixtures, and the proper light fixtures won't be here until December. And I think the anticipation date was December 4th when they would come back and install those light fixtures.
Very good. The next item on the agenda, Mr. Brink, it's a motion to authorize the transfer of an employee from the sewer department to the water department effective December 1st, 2014. Please.
Town of Ulster Water District, October 23rd, 2014. Dear Supervisor Quigley and Town Board members, as you know, Joe Casilla will be retiring as of December 30th, 2014. It is my wish to hire someone as soon as possible so that we can train them in Joe's duties and have a smooth transition. There is a lot to learn in 2 months. We have posted the position of operator trainee in-house as required by Local 17 contract, and the only person to apply for this position is Jason Kriskowski from the Ulster Sewer Plant. He has taken all the civil service tests for this position and would be considered a lateral move. After reviewing his application and working with him on several occasions, I feel he would make a good addition to the Ulster Water District staff. So at this time, I would recommend that we allow him to transfer over from the sewer department. I am hoping you will agree with me and allow this to happen. I am looking for the date of November 10th, if this is feasible for the transfer. Thank you for your consideration in this matter, and if you have any questions, please feel to call me. Regards, John Rose, Water Superintendent.
I make a motion, we approve the lateral transfer effective December 1st, 2014.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Brink, the next on the motion to authorize a part-time seasonal worker for the supervisor's office.
Yes, Supervisor.
Let me just clarify something, excuse me. The letter states one date. We need to strike that date from that letter.
We have passed a motion to
Yes.
authorize
I know
December 1st.
Just want to make sure that the letter reflects December 1st.
We'll have the letter modified.
All right, the employee is John Quigley, to be hired as office help. He'll work in the supervisor's department. The funds will be paid out of the general fund. It's not a union position, and the starting wage would be $12 an hour, and the start date is November 10th, 2014.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Brink, on the motion to authorize the highway superintendent to hire a full-time MEO.
Yes, the employee name is Joseph Killinan, and Joseph is being hired as a full-time MEO in the highway department at grade 6, level 1, at the rate of pay of $13.76 with full benefits.
Motion?
Second.
No, may I?
I'll make the motion. Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Mr. Brink, on the motion to authorize the sewer superintendent to hire a full-time wastewater maintenance worker.
Yes, Supervisor, the employee's name is Jason Tremper, and the title would be wastewater maintenance worker, and it'd be working in the sewer department. Position would be full-time. It's a union position, and the contract is with Local 17. He'd be hired at grade 5, level 1, at the rate of pay of $12.29 with full benefits. And his department head would be Corey Howard.
Do you have an effective start date?
Immediately.
11/10/2014.
May I have a motion, please?
I'll make it. Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Aye. On the motion to hire a part-time police officer, Mr. Brink.
Kevin J. Wolfman, title police officer of the police department, and Chief Cruz would like to recommend Mr. Wolfman to be hired as a part-time officer. Mr. Wolfman has successfully completed Phase 1 and Phase 2 of the Ulster County Law Enforcement Group Police Academy training. He has completed his 160 hours of DCJS required field training through Sorges Police Department. Mr. Wolfman has received a bachelor's degree in political science / criminal justice in May of 2013, and he has previously received an associate degree in criminal justice in May of 2011. And the department head would be Chief Cruz.
Motion, please.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
The next item on the agenda is a motion to authorize the supervisor to renew the CDPHP health insurance plan on December 1st, 2014 for the 2014-15 year.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
The next item on the agenda is a motion to authorize the supervisor to renew the Guardian Dental and Vision Insurance on December 1st, 2014, for the period 2014-15.
Mayor, make the motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
The next item in your agenda package is a motion declaring surplus equipment from the Highway Department. Mr. Petramwall?
As we have in the past, over the last couple of years, we've had some equipment being been replaced, and we have several pieces that we'd like to declare surplus, so we can sell at auction. We're going to utilize Auctions International. It's an online auction. The police department has utilized it in the past with selling some of their vehicles. We've used it in the past, and we've had great returns on our sales. So we're just looking for the list that you guys have in front of you for surplus, declare surplus, and then we'll set everything up with the auction house to sell.
So I'm going to split this into two parts. I'm going to ask for a motion to declare the equipment surplus as described in the memo and is explained by Highway Superintendent Petramwall.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
The second part is I'd like the motion that Mr. Petramwall be authorized to dispose of this equipment through Auction International, and given the timing of this, that it may not coincide with the town board meeting, that he be granted the authority to sell the equipment at the best price possible in his sole discretion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda, is there anybody here from the sewer department?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vinnie's here.
Motion to authorize the sewer department to undertake manhole repairs at an amount not to exceed $11,000. This contract will be awarded to Arrow Construction, and it will complete the work as authorized. Mr. Howick, just give us a brief explanation of what you're doing.
Basically, it's been an ongoing process in the department. We're looking for infiltration or inflow in our collection system. And we have found several manholes in our collection system that are leaking waters into the streamway. And basically, we are going to have that sealed by a company by means of grouting or injection. Since we have not had a lot of rain recently, it will be easier to grout the manholes with a special type of grouting without injecting, which would be a little bit cheaper. It's done by the day. So pretty much that's what we're doing. We're eliminating the infiltration and inflow in our collection system. We have 500 manholes in our sewer collection system in the Ulster Sewer District, plus or minus. We have found approximately anywhere between 10 to 15 that we would like to get sealed as soon as possible. So we're going to try to get as many as we can. In the course of the day, I think it's $3,000 a day. So that's pretty much what we're doing to eliminate the infiltration.
So in our packages, we have 3 bids in accordance with the town procurement policy. So I'll ask for a motion to award the contract to Arrow Construction.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
The next item, gentlemen, is a presentation of the 2015 Town of Ulster fee schedule. This is for discussion only. It will be posted to the town's website, and I will call for adoption of the fee schedule at the meeting where we adopt the town budget. So it's been presented. The summary is that the transfer station annual permits will be increased to $50. The tickets for in-town residents will be increased to $4. And we will discuss the financial impact of those rate increases in the next item on our agenda. There have been minor adjustments to the meter installation in the water department section, and there is an 8% increase in the water rates and a 10% increase in the sewer rates. The next item on our agenda is a presentation of the revised 2015 transfer station budget based upon the revised fee schedule that has been presented. so that we can evaluate and make a decision on the continued operation of the transfer station. So your package will disclose that under the current fee schedule, we would be projected to lose $51,000 in 2015 based upon the revised RRA pricing schedule that was recently released, and that with the increased fees, that loss will be reduced to $36,000. So I'll open the floor to the board for discussion on the budget for the transfer station.
Well, the price per bag went up 50 cents. I still think probably for a lot of people out there, it's probably cheaper for them to use the transfer station than to go to waste management or down to waste. So keeping the transfer station open is a benefit to the people that use it.
Any other comment? I'll call for a motion that the town board make a position that the transfer station will remain open for 2015 based upon the current operation schedule.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Mr. Cosenza, you are now authorized to purchase the appropriate supplies that you need for the operation next year. The last item on our agenda is merely a presentation to the town board for discussion of a resolution restricting the use of fracking waste on the town of Ulster roads. Mr. Petramwall, as highway superintendent, how do you feel about this?
We don't have a problem with it. We don't use any fluids now, and we don't intend to use any fracking fluids if we decide to use any type of pretreatment. So I don't see an issue with it.
Thank you. So this resolution will be brought back to the next town board meeting for a vote. We are well past the time for our two public hearings. I'll ask for a motion to open the public hearing for the 2015 Town of Ulster preliminary budget. The budget has been published on the town's website and available for public review at the town clerk's office. If anyone wishes to come forward, please state your name, your address, and please keep your comments 3 minutes or less. I'll ask for a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public hearing is now open. Anybody on the budget?
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll call for a motion to close the public hearing on the budget.
I'll make that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The second issue on our agenda tonight for a public hearing relates to a public hearing on the town's local law that would be required if the town were to override the tax cap. The budget that has been presented is within the tax cap. Town board will not be overriding the tax cap by a local law this year, but because we set a public hearing, we're going to have to go through with it. I'll call for a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The public hearing is now open on the legislation to void the tax cap for the town of Ulster for 2015. Does anyone care to comment?
Motion to close the hearing.
Have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? This public hearing is now closed. Ladies and gentlemen, this now concludes the scheduled agenda for the town of Ulster for the town board meeting workshop tonight. We are now going to open the floor to public comment on any topic that any individual wishes to talk about. I will ask that you come to the podium, state your name, address. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. There will be a timekeeper. Anyone for public comment? Sir, please.
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Your name, sir,
Richard Buck,
and your address.
59 Raybrook Drive, Woodstock, New York.
Okay.
I have a question regarding Cooper Lake, the Cooper Lake Niagara Bottling Project.
Go ahead, ask it.
Okay. My question is here that the board, in light of the fact it seems the board is fairly adamant about its position about being lead agency with this. And my question is, does the board, anyone on the board, have any financial interest in the project? Any position, is anyone in any position to gain financially from the project? And I just wanted to ask that question publicly.
Would you clarify your question as to financial interest?
Does anyone on the board, their immediate family or relations, stand to gain financially from the successful implementation of the Niagara Bottling project?
As taxpayers, yes. We are all taxpayers in this room. Personally?
Yes.
I'll ask the board to address that.
Not I.
No, not at all.
Mr. Morrow?
I don't.
And I don't.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to, make that clear for the public record, please.
Very good.
And the other thing that I would say is a comment, and that is, I'm concerned that I've read that 260 trucks would be coming in and out of Enterprise Drive on a daily basis. I would ask the board to look at that and to see whether or not, that seems to me, and I'm not exactly sure where the ingress and egress is, whether between exit 19 and exit 20, but it seems to me that that would place a bit of an undue burden on Enterprise Drive, Route 209, the Kingston Traffic Circle, and Kings Highway, if that's part of it.
How long have you lived in this community, sir?
I was in Woodstock.
How long have you lived in the Woodstock-Kingston community?
Since 1993.
1993. That was a year after IBM laid off 7,800 people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they had in excess of 5,000 cars over there.
Okay, I'm talking about 40-foot tractor-trailer trucks. It can be very difficult, and this was before the configuration of the traffic circle in Kingston.
Duly noted, and it will be included in the traffic study.
Thank you.
It's only on full operation right now. It'll be 50 trucks a day possible.
Any additional comments?
Hello, my name is Jennifer Schwartz-Berkey. I'm a resident of Kingston, New York, 35 Home Street. I'm also a representative of KingstonCitizens.org. I'm working with them as a policy and planning advisor. I'm a professional planner and policy analyst. The question I have for you is, I have actually several. Are you aware of the resolution that was made last night at the Kingston Common Council requesting the DC to reconsider becoming lead agency?
Yes.
Have you yet been contacted by any lawmakers in Kingston to ask you about your position on this?
No.
Are you also aware of the request of the Kingston to become an involved agency?
Yes.
Have you considered your position on this?
I have an opinion of council that the City Common Council does not have a decision to make in this, and we are based our decision on the legal opinion that we've received from the city's lawyers.
Have you received an accounting from Niagara Bottling of how much the infrastructure will cost over the life cycle of their work to the Kingston water infrastructure?
We have not started seeker. We do not have the reports prepared, and they have not been presented to the town board or the agency going to review them. So to answer your question, have we seen anything? No, because they don't exist yet.
So have you considered the full fiscal impact of the project on the communities of Kingston, Ulster, and the other 4 communities that will be impacted potentially by this project?
Jennifer, we're trying to start a secret process to be able to determine the impact.
Okay. So
you're asking me if I have answered those questions before we did the study.
Okay.
My answer is no.
Okay, so are you able then to say that this is a positive fiscal impact on the communities?
What I can say is that the incremental revenue given to the City of Kingston Water Department will allow them to fund their $16 million in capital improvements and avoid a 32% rate increase to the town of Ulster Water District customers and the City of Kingston water customers.
And have you evaluated the tax exemptions of Startup New York and what that might cost the residents of Kingston, Ulster, and the other participants in the Kingston School District?
That Startup New York is a state program. We did not design it. We don't have any say in its implementation.
Okay, and just one last question. Are you intending to provide a positive declaration on the secret process to determine whether...
We have not declared lead agency yet.
Ah, I see. Okay.
We have not received all the consents to be lead agent.
I see, okay. When will you make that decision?
When we receive the consents,
And the clock concludes on what date?
30 days from the date of the last resolution that this town board passed, notifying additional agencies of its intent to be lead agents.
So that would be November 16th?
I believe so.
It's 3 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Mr. Supervisor, members of the town board, my name is Jared Mance. I live at 155 Fairway Drive in the town of Ulster. I'm here tonight to speak to you about the proposed bottling plant here in the town of Ulster and to speak in favor of it. For over 2 decades now, that property has laid dormant. It would be extremely beneficial to the residents of the town of Ulster, to the taxpayers in the town of Ulster, to the taxpayers in Ulster County, to have a business there that is producing a product for a profit, creating jobs, creating commerce in the county, in the surrounding towns. They would employ people. I've heard the argument that from people in the media that the jobs are not very well paying or they're somehow substandard. The fact remains that they're jobs, and there are too few jobs, opportunities in our area today, and this would only help the situation. Also in my professional career, I have had many dealings actually with the City of Kingston Water Department. I'm very familiar with the way Ms. Hanson runs her department. She's a very capable administrator, and if Ms. Hanson and the board of the water department in Kingston has determined that they have the water available and that the agreement will be favorable to them, I would trust their judgment. So thank you. Thanks for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Mance. Any other individuals wish to care? Sir, before I ask you to come back, is there anybody that hasn't had an opportunity to speak that wishes to? You may proceed.
Thank you, sir. Just a short follow-up question. Does the town of Ulster, does the board have any particular objection to the DEC becoming the lead agency on the Kingston bottling project?
It's
the
called
Niagara bottling project?
Home rule.
In other words, wherever the plant is going to be.
It's called home rule. We
Okay.
have an objection.
Okay. And you don't think that the DEC has a wider purview, a wider scope, or you're saying that you're going to, through Secreto, you're going to be looking at the same issues that they would?
We have a legal responsibility under Secreto to evaluate the environmental impacts and to see if there are actions that can mitigate those impacts. We have a responsibility that is defined under the law and the rules and the procedures, and we intend on following those rules and procedures.
Okay, and does that take into account all the surrounding areas, including the Woodstock area and the watershed and whatnot? Or is it just...
It deals with all the impacts.
Okay, so Cooper Lake, of course, is included in that.
There will be an analysis on the water supply to the plant.
Thank you.
Any additional comment? I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much for coming out tonight.